Hello, it's Miss Joanne from the Metuchen Library. It's time for Nature Crafts. Okay, our story today is called When the Wind Stops by Charlotte Zolotow, illustrated by Stefano Vitali. And this is published by HarperCollins. This is a book about cycles in nature. As things end, new things begin, and it makes a never-ending circle. The great bright yellow sun had shone all day, and now the day was coming to an end. The light in the sky changed from blue to pink to a strange dusky purple. The sun sank lower into the long glowing clouds. The little boy was sorry to see the day end. Look at that beautiful sunset in the sky. He and his friend had played in the garden. When they were tired of playing, they lay down in the grass and felt the sun on them, warm and soft like a sleepy cat resting. There had been icy lemonade in the afternoon, which they drank under the pear tree. And the little boy's father read him a story on the porch before he went to bed. Now his mother came to say good night. Why does the day have to end? He asked her. So night can begin, she said. Look, she pointed out the window where high in the darkening sky, behind the branches of the pear tree, the little boy could see a pale sliver of moon. That's the night beginning, his mother said, resting her hand on his shoulder. The night with the moon and stars and darkness for you to dream in. But where does the sun go when the day ends? The little boy asked. The day doesn't end, said his mother. It begins somewhere else. The sun will be shining there when night begins here. Nothing ends. Nothing? The little boy asked. Nothing, his mother said. It begins in another place or in a different way. The little boy lay in bed, and his mother sat beside him. Where does the wind go when it stops? He asked. It blows away to make the trees dance somewhere else. Where does the dandelion fluff go when it blows away? It carries the seed of new dandelions to someone's lawn. Where does the mountain go after the top? Down to where it becomes the valley. Where do waves go when they break on the sand? Sucked back to the sea into new waves. Look at all those sea creatures in the ocean. Where does the rain go when the storm is over? Into clouds to make other storms. And where do clouds go when they move across the sky? To make shade somewhere else. And the leaves in the forest, when they turn color and fall, they go into the ground to become part of new trees with new leaves. But when the leaves fall, that is the end of something, the little boy said. It is the end of autumn. Yes, his mother said, the end of autumn is when the winter begins. And that will happen in just a few weeks from now. We're going to transition away from fall and begin winter soon. At the end of winter, the little boy asked. The end of winter, when the snow melts and the birds come back, is the beginning of spring, his mother said. And the little boy smiled. Look at those beautiful pictures of spring coming. It really does go on and on, he said. Nothing ends. He looked out at the sky. The sun was gone completely. The lovely pink clouds had disappeared. The sky was dark and purple-black. High above the branches of the pear tree shone, clearly now, a thin new moon. Today is over, his mother said. It's time for sleep. And tomorrow morning, when you wake, the moon will be beginning a night far away, and the sun will be here to begin a new day. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story of seeing how all things in nature, when they end, it is just the start of a new beginning. Okay, the craft that I'd like to tell you about today comes from a pine cone. I went outside at the library to look for pine cones today, and guess what? I couldn't find any. So I found a picture of a pine cone to show you. These are pine cones that were they had some glue brushed on them, and then some glitter was also sprinkled on them, or you could roll it in some glitter, and then it's put into a bowl to make a nice table decoration for the fall season. You can also hang a ribbon from the top and hang it up if you'd like to hang your glitter pine cone for decoration. You also might want to roll your pine cone in some shortening and then sprinkle bird seed on top and hang that up on a tree outside so your pine cone can be a bird feeder, since birds are really looking for food right about now. So I encourage you to think of a pine cone for decoration or to help feed the birds outside. And this reminds me of a finger play I know about trees, since we get pine cones from pine trees. The pine cone is the seed of a pine tree. From this pine cone, seeds fall into the ground, and a new baby pine tree can grow from a pine cone. Think about roots that grow down in the ground. Their job is to suck up water and nutrients from the soil. So let's do that together. Let's pretend we're the roots and we're sucking up the nutrients and water from soil. And here's the trunk of the tree. The water and the nutrients are going up and down, up and down, up and down the trunk of the tree and bringing it to the branches and to the leaves, or the needles if it's a pine tree. And when you get to the leaves, the nutrients and water get mixed to make food for the tree. So let's do this. The leaves are mixing, 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 and making food for the tree. So let's start again from the roots and the tree trunk, and the branches and the leaves are mixing to make food for the tree. Thank you for joining me for Nature Crafts today. I hope you might be able to find some pine cones that you can do something fun with. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. See you soon.